It's like celebrating the process versus the end result.
Yeah,
because that's life. You could do everything right. You could, and bad things could still happen to you.
Yep.
And so that's my biggest thing I try to give my son and the other kids. Whereas everyone else is so focused on wins, losses, and the scoreboard and the stat sheet. It's crazy. At 7.
Yeah. It ties in with a thing though of just slowing down and enjoying the present. Enjoy the moment. And that's one thing I always tell. It's like as soon as I give them, I don't know, what do you call them, popsicle, right? I give them one of them, and they go, "What's for dinner?" I'm like, "Fuck it." Enjoy what's in front of you now, right?
Yeah.
Enjoy it isn't even in your mouth yet. Enjoy that, and then we'll talk about the next thing, right? And it's constantly this chase of what's next, and it's just culture because of the on-demand shit. It is, and I feel quite lucky that all of us three grew up not having that. It wasn't on demand all the time. You couldn't just pick up something out your pocket and go online or have a song. If you wanted to buy an album, you got to cycle to the record shop, buy an album, cycle home, put it on, and then rewind it when you had your favorite song. It totally different bloody way of life. And I don't blame kids for demanding that way of life because it's all they know. But it's down to us as parents and coaches and adults to expressly make them understand that it's much better to earn something in the long run and enjoy it at the time than it is just to get that end result, because there's no enjoyment in that. And Jon and I were talking about this the other day with someone, it's why super wealthy kids that are born into wealth and money will never, ever understand the value of $1 having not earned it. They can spend it, but when they spend it, it doesn't mean anything as much as the kid that's earned it or the adult that's had to earn their way up to that. It's just not the same thing. And again, it's not the kid's fault. No. They were born into that. But it's the parents distributing that wealth to them. They can do it in a way where they can learn that. And it's the same with physical endeavors and earning and understanding that pride and that passion that you've done it.
I had that thought this morning filling up my car with gas. It's so weird that you mentioned that. Is that, and I'm not saying I grew up poor, right? But I definitely didn't grow up privileged, and I'm so thankful for that. Every day I am so thankful of the era of which I got to be raised in, without the internet, without cell phones. But it was so funny feeling, because all I did is I walked up to the pump, scanned my card, and just put the fuel line in my car and just sat in my car and just waited for the click. Whereas I was like, man, in high school, I would be sitting there being like, how much gas can I afford to put in my car right now?
Yeah.
And I'd be like,
that was me when I got my first
car. My wallet. Yeah. And it's so funny that you mentioned that, because I had that moment where I just sat back and I'm like, man, how lucky am I to be in a position now where I don't even have to, there wasn't even a thought. I just just fill it up. I don't even care what the number is.
No.
And I'm not saying it's because I'm rich, but I'm not counting pennies anymore.
Do you try and get it on 000 as well?
Every time. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Accuracy test. Yeah. The ATMs where you get your money out, the cash money. When I was a teenager, my early 20s, and into the mid 20s, it was that drum roll of, have you got enough money to get this money? I was like, come on, have it. And he goes, yeah. And you hear the cash starting to go. I'm like, yeah, I've got it. Don't have to worry about that anymore, to an extent. But yeah, it's funny how you have those moments where you realize, do you know what? And in that moment, the reality of that is that you've earned that yourself. You've earned that right to put in an extra $5 of gas because you fancy it.
Yeah.
As opposed to 15, or what's the minimum amount I can put in here?
Yeah. I was like, can I get, 20 kilometers of gas just so I can drive around for the week? No deal. It's it's so funny that I had that.
Yeah. All right. Being thankful, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the theme of the day, isn't it? Really, being thankful for what you've got and what you've earned. Yeah,
for sure. And
so funny you say about the failure, the process and that, because I homeschool the kids. I said to you when you were on the other show, homeschool the kids. I'm very aware that I spend a lot of time with my kids. And the worst thing in the world is me being their only influencer.
Yeah.
I need them to have other adults telling them what to do, different perspectives. There's a lot of familiarity that goes on, and I need other adults. And I know Savon talks about this a lot, but handing your kids over to another adult, a coach, it takes a lot for a parent to do that and have trust and full trust in that person. Here's a question for you, and tough question to answer. What one trait do you think that you have that allows people to have trust in you with their kids?
I don't know if like outward authenticity is an exact trait.
Okay.
But what I say, I do in front of the parents, and I never waver from that. So what I tell them, I apply. Like just straight, like there's no coach speak here, coach speak here. It's like I talk to you like I talk to your kids, and I talk to your kids like we have the same conversation. Any usual meeting I have with the kids is in front of the parents, like on the bench. It's like they get to see this in real time. And what you said of, I fully understand that position of the parent putting their child into my hands. That weighs on me. Like, my son has a soccer game this afternoon. All day I stress about doing a good job to help these kids play the best game they can, and that the parents can see that is what we're trying to do. So the weight and pressure that and the parents aren't giving it to me. That is just my own personal burden that I've given myself, because I've been the parent on the sideline watching people not help either my kid or watch them help no kids. And that's and that's why I coach my kids now. I cannot wait for the day that I don't have to do this anymore. And I don't mean have to. I should say right now I get to do these things because I know I'll never get to do this again. Because one day they'll either pick a sport or they'll be coached by, like, one day they'll go off on their own, which is what they're supposed to do. I hope for as long as I can that I can it's not about my coach these kids in a manner of which I, as a parent, I would want someone to take care of my kid. And I try to give that to every single kid with as much that I possibly can. And it's exhausting. But at the same time, as someone who's been on the outside looking in, I never want to have that feeling as a parent, and I want them to never have that feeling with me. So that's a huge thing that weighs on me when it comes to coaching the kids. So I hope they feel it, and I think they do.